lighthouses, depending where they are, they're very isolated, and you're there 2, 3, 4 months at a time, until you're relieved, and it's very challenging to say the least. But yeah, I'm sure that with that in his pocket, probably like, yeah, I'm done with the lighthouse work.
Yeah, could you imagine being in a lighthouse and have the seas come crashing in and all that stuff all around you, and you're there for like 2 or more months at a time, and you're all by yourself? I mean, some of these lighthouses out there are really scary. They're built on platforms. The storms can actually come up, and you just wonder, like, hey, is it going to handle a storm without collapsing? It's scary. I would, that's the one job I would not even consider doing.
Yeah, some of the old ones they got that's in the North Atlantic and even the North Pacific, they're very isolated, some of them, and a lot of them are even haunted as far as that goes. But there's one famous one, I can't remember where it is, but they had 3 people at a time on it, and they came up missing. They don't even know what happened to them. Well,
they could have got washed off. I mean, big storm. That's the trouble. Yeah. You're out there. I seen some of these, videos and films of, lighthouses, where the waves just go right over the lighthouse. You're wondering, how does it survive? Some of them, like I said, they're built on platforms. It's like oil rigs, and they're out in the middle of nowhere. And, I've seen where the waves just come right over it. I would be so, I could tell you, I don't care how good the video movies are on, your TV screen. When you have something like that crashing over you, you never know. Hey, is this going to, especially how they build things nowadays.
Oh, right. Well, most of them is even older, so about ready to fall apart. So they can't take too much more, I wouldn't think. But I would say if you was out there, you probably need a big blanket to get under whenever those waves come crashing.
I would get under the bed. That's what I would do. Well, 2 deers come crashing through a furniture store in Kentucky, and the owner goes to work in the morning and sees a lot of damage. Couches, end tables, all destroyed. About $5,000 cost worth of damage caused by 2 deers that broke through the glass window in the door.
Now, who's to say the deer didn't drink beer once they got in there? We don't know what to follow up on.
Well, they might have drank beer before they went in there. That's why they went in there. Anyway, a clumsy burglar, right, in Australia robs a house. And he steals, of all things, a dishwasher. Now, he's out in front of the house on a busy road, and what's he do? He drops it.
Did it fall apart when he dropped it? I mean, my goodness.
I have no idea, but that's the fastest way to go into the hooska.
Yeah, it is. That reminds me of that story from that guy in Jersey not too long ago. He stole the ATM machine, and he was trying to get on with the ATM, trying to get on the public bus transportation. I've seen the video. That was bizarre, Gary.
Well, a woman in Great Britain goes into the lavatory. Okay? And this mom is, going to go in there and probably spend a few minutes. Well, she didn't spend those few minutes in there because when she went to sit down...
Oh, no.
Okay, guess what? A large snake came out of her toilet. And they show a picture of the snake. I tell you what, I would run like you wouldn't believe. It's not like a 2 or 3 foot snake. It's a big, huge... How are they coming through? I guess they're big enough for when you have a big turd. They're coming through. These snakes are huge, but they're coming out of the toilet. You're not having to worry about them coming out of the bathtub or the bathroom sink, the drain. No, they're coming out where you don't. How many people don't even think about looking before they sit down? They just walk into the bathroom, right? Lift up the lid and sit down.
I tell you what, man. a lot of these snakes, if they're not poisonous, they're constrictors, so they eat, mammals like groundhogs and squirrels and other type mammals.
Testicles.
and the other kind that build dams.
Yeah, like the guy in Florida that, got bit and sat down, and the snake, was it a python or a boa constrictor? I can't remember which one. The guy sat down, right, in a restaurant, of all places, sits down to relax, and boy, did he get a surprise. That snake just clamped onto him, and can you think of the embarrassment? Here comes the rescue. First comes the maître d', because you're probably screaming, right? And everybody's wondering in the restaurant, they're eating their food, right? And they hear some poor guy in the bathroom screaming. So the maître d' runs into the bathroom, the dishwasher runs in the bathroom, and the waitresses all run in the bathroom to see why this guy is screaming. He's, attached to the toilet because he can't get up because some huge snake came up through the you-know-what of the toilet and attached to his testicles. Now you have the fire crew there. You got the police there. You probably have the local TV, station there filming you with a snake attached to your testicles. Your life is now ruined. Let alone, I don't even know what happened to his testicles. Could they have been reattached? Do they still work?
That whole scenario, I've got two scenes from a movie. One, Joe Dirt, when that dog his things are froze to the porch, and the guy comes out with a spatula, and they're going tug of war. That snake and him tug of war. And two, like you said, like that from something about Mary, they bring in the fire department and the neighbors, a whole procession of people to come look and see this whole scenario.
Well, wouldn't you? If you're eating in a restaurant and you hear some guy screaming at the top of his lungs, I'm sure the guy would not just been quiet. Because you know what? You're sitting, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what's got a hold of you down there. As far as you know, it could have been a mermaid come fly, and reached your hands up there. I don't know, but you're sitting, and how would you know it was a snake? I guess, they have really sharp teeth, and as you said, they got reverse teeth, so when they grab, they're not going to let go.
No, they dislodge their jaw so they can swallow. They can swallow you whole almost. So that's the other thing. They had to cut that snake. You got to be careful. Oh, there's so many things could went wrong in that situation. I'll tell you. Wow.
Yeah, I wonder if the restaurant sent him the bill for the broken toilet to replace it. Wouldn't that be a slap in the face? You're in a restaurant. A big snake attaches to you while you're sitting down doing your job, and then you get a bill in the mail 30 days later saying, "Hey, the rescuers had to break the toilet. Well, you got to pay for it." I sure wouldn't give a tip for that dinner that night. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, and they took you out before you paid for your dinner on top of that also. That would be awful.
What dinner? Would you even think about finishing your dinner after that?
Oh, no. Yeah, first of all,
I guarantee you the guy, when they did break the toilet and cut the head off the snake and did what they had to do, right, to free the guy, you think that guy was even able to walk? No. You think he was able to talk in a manly way?
I don't think so. Matter of fact, he's probably gunshot to even go to the restroom again. He's probably carrying around a bucket or something.
He probably has no testicles left, because what you said and what I researched, especially with those big snakes,
right?
I'm certain by the time the paramedics got there, they probably weren't much left of those things hanging down there in the mouth of the snake. They probably just was a little bit of skin hanging on. That's about it. So I don't know. Maybe that was a perfect time for the guy to consider a sex change.
That would be one way to get put into it. I know I've seen a snake, those type snakes, about 3 weeks ago, the guys were letting them bite them, to see how hard the bite was, and it bit him on the elbow, and that's tough skin. And he had to get like 6, 7 stitches, and they were long cuts from these teeth. And that's tough skin. So you imagine, biting something there's no bones in. It's just kind of.
I don't know. How can I say? It means a new meaning of Rocky Mountain oysters.
My God.
Well, an elephant wanders into a lobby in an Asia country and an Asia town and goes into the lobby of this restaurant. Of this hotel, and tries to sit down on the couch.
First of all, how does an elephant just casually walk into anywhere? Haven't you heard the phrase elephant in the room? I mean, come on, man.
Well, it definitely, shows the picture of the elephant, so it just makes you wonder.
How does an elephant sneak into a room so nonchalantly and sit on a couch? That's the old term. Hey, there's an elephant in the room, man. Look over there on the couch. And they're not very small or light, even a baby. So it's going to do some damage.
I think it would. It definitely would do something. And again, we had a story the other day. Watch out for these new bathing suits. They're hitting the market. They're called the naked bikini. And there's a good reason why they're called the naked bikini. As soon as you go in the water, and as soon as you come out of the water, they turn totally transparent.
Oh, my goodness. That's one way to get back at somebody. I think didn't you tell a story about the husband or something?
Yeah, a husband, I guess I read more about it since I talked about it last. The woman had an affair. And instead of, divorcing her or whatever, he wanted to humiliate her. The best way he figured was to go and buy her a really sexy bikini and then promise he would take her to that nice tropical beach. Now, when he bought the bikini, he also found online this, what do you call it, thread. It deteriorates instantly when it hits water.
Oh, my God.
So he goes to a seamstress and then says, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you remove all the stitching out of the bathing suit and put this thread in? So
wow.
So then he gives her the ticket. They go to this nice tropical beach. He gives her a really sexy, bathing suit. And she's excited and she goes running in the water, and she goes, are you coming in? I'll be in a minute, honey. And she wasn't in the water for more than a minute or two. And when she realized everything was like coming off of her. Now there's hundreds of people on this beach. And it's not a nude beach at all. And then she goes, honey, get me a towel. No, I'm going to go to town. And he just walks up to where the car is and drove off and just left her there in the water.
I'm surprised he didn't call the cops and say, there's a lady over here who's indecent exposure. Come get her to really get her back.
Well, I don't know. Really, really scary. You think somebody would do that to somebody they love. Anyway, we'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio. Check our website out. It's been updated at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com.
You and I were living in the strangest of times on my hill, watching while the cities rise from the cleft that we left when the sun beat it down.